Hoanahu tapo mitaki peleantuchi. Takuchti waya otaimashi, ochanke he chamukta. Ochanke mie cha wakpala, ituhu cha wakpala elwa utaha. Honaha makiuta zapta akoketka elwa ti. Hona mie cha echalik chevi chasha wa unaha makata hamatompi. Honaha o uya tuktekchi machpia maka yokogana mankenaha. Miecha e chala chankuwa stena luta na utala na chankuwa ka ogana manikta wachi. Naha e chalachchi wahunumpa oyate washte eche opakta wachi. Honaha mie tokahea inaji, lakocha je mitra tokahea inaji imacha. Naha Bahai wowi chala wani tu wikchemna yamani samia oapas elecha. Hohechegle pachi.
Can you translate now?
You want translation? I'll go. Come on.
Into English, please.
We're going to speak a European language. Is that what you want to do? Come on.
That was beautiful.
No, I'm just saying that I reside in the Wakpala community. Wakpala district. It's one of the 8 districts on the Standing Rock Reservation, and I live about 5 miles out of the community of Wakpala, but it's still in the Wakpala district. And I have been a Baha'i for it's about 29 years. I think 28 or 29 years since around 1980 when I became a Baha'i, and so it's been a beautiful journey, spiritual journey, and it's continuing on. It's getting a lot more exciting as we go. The main community is 30 miles away, and we got so much momentum going. And now that he left, he kind of left me holding the bag. I've been trying to do the children's classes, and I've got 12. You know, we could have a lot more, but it's just me. So then when I get back, I'll be back for a while now. So I'll start in again, try and do about 2 or 3 a week. But see if we had more help with it. See, I've got the kids that go all the way from age 4 to 10. See, that's a big span. Those four-year-olds, they have like a 15-second attention span. It's kind of tough, you know. So I have to figure out, you know, that's what we do. That's why we do all the songs and everything like that. And I'll give you. When you guys want to give an example, before some of you showed up, I taught a little song, one of the little songs that we do. I'll teach you another one. Want to learn something else? It's not exactly. Yeah, it's a song. But we do with the sign language. You know, they use the signs, and this will be my class, okay?
Okay.
All right, this is the class. Okay, what we're going to do is this one, they call it, Oh God, Guide Me. You know that's a children's prayer, right? Oh God, Guide Me. Okay, so I'm just going to teach you the signs now, okay? We'll learn the signs, okay? The first one we're going to say, Oh God, okay? So the way we're going to say God is Great Spirit. Were you there last night when that... There was that guy there was an actor. See, I don't have a clue who that is. I don't have a TV. I don't watch movies. I don't know who that is. You know, what's he up there smashing a guitar for? I don't know. See, kind of blew my mind. Anyway, but he was saying that word wakantanka. He didn't quite say it right. Yeah, I don't know. You say wakantanka. It's a word for most great spirit. Wakantanka. Anyway, so you could make the sign like this. You make the sign starting here. Start here. Bring it out. That means great. Or large or huge means great, but in this case, say great. Your 2 fingers are parallel with your eyes. One spiral up, and that's the spirit. So it starts here. One spiral up is spirit. So we just say great spirit. Oh, great spirit. Or oh God. Okay, this is oh God. Next word we're going to learn is guide. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab hold of an imaginary rope right here. And the idea here is to lead, like you're leading a horse or something like that. That's where that sign comes from. Lead. So we're going to say guide me, right? Oops, guide me. Okay, now, next one we're going to do is we're going to do the sign for protect. So we're going to bring our hands around here, like you're getting a hold of something that you really cherish. You're going to protect it by drawing it close to you, like a child or something like that. See, that's protect. So we're going to grab it and bring it close. So that's protect me. And then, okay, make. You say make. You just brush your fingertips together as a sign for make. So you say make me. And it's a shining lamp, isn't it? Shining lamp. Okay. The idea here is well, we don't know what kind of lamp, but just going to use our imagination. We're going to make that light shining from our heart, see? Make me a shining lamp. Can you see that? Make me a shining lamp and a brilliant star. So the sign for star is this. But we don't just want that star to be stationary. We want that star to rise, right? Make me a shining lamp and a brilliant star. And we're asking all these of God. So we're going to say, Thou art. And we believe that our prayers are going to be answered because why? Thou art the mighty and the powerful. All right? Got it? All right, now there's a little song. I don't know if you all use that song, but we've got a little CD with this tune on there. So it goes, okay. Oh God, guide me, protect me, make of me a shining lamp and a brilliant star. Thou art the mighty and the powerful. Again. O God, guide me, protect me, make of me a shining lamp and a brilliant star. Thou art the mighty and the powerful. Does it look okay?
Yes, excellent.
Is that all right?
That's great.
Well, one of the things I'll mention off the top is that I think the Lakota community, like out where I live, and I think so many places throughout the world, essentially it's a child-centered culture. It's a child-centered culture, and so as a Baha'i, really the most effective strategy to employ is to focus on the children, because working with the children, of course, this is an entry point to the whole community in order to develop the core activities. So the initial core activity would be children's classes, and then I think secondarily be the junior youth animator training, and then through that, of course, you can develop your study circles and devotional meetings. Everything kind of springboards off of there. Yeah, but for me, it's really it's just so such a logical thing to work with the kids, because I'll mention this too, like in the Lakota language word for children, they say wakaja. Wakaja, and the root of that is waka. Waka means something holy, something heavenly, something sacred. So this term wakaja, even though you just translate it as child, it refers to their heavenly origin. And then you reference that, and I don't have the quote, I wish I did, I should have it. But in the one of these tablets of Abdul Baha, he describes the children. He says the children of today have a special destiny before God, and God has empowered them to achieve that destiny. And then in that same tablet, again, I'm just paraphrasing, he describes these children. He says, these children are neither Occidental nor Oriental. They're not African or Asian or European, but their native home is heaven. May all humanity welcome with open arms the children of the kingdom. So really, we can see them at a conference like this, these children who are pretty much freed up from the shackles that have really fettered the previous generations. And I'm talking about, in the United States, I think we're so well rehearsed after many generations. I would say my generation, probably, especially, I should say. And that is like, for many, many generations in the U.S., what's been played out over and over are these roles, like I'll describe the roles of the, like the enslaved and the enslavers, the conquered, the conquerors, the exploited, the exploiters, the victims, the victimizers. But in reality, they were all victims if we stay within those roles. But now, of course, we can see these young people coming up, and of course, a lot of the speakers are addressing this, are in a unique position to free themselves from those shackles, and to really arise and to see the roles that have been, you notice out there they've got the banner. It says the stage is set, right? The stage is set. But what is it set for? It's set for actors. And what are the roles we're going to play? And where do we look for the script? Where is the script? Well, the script is in the basic script is in the Tablets of Divine Plan. And every sentence you read in the Tablets of Divine Plan is laden with the roles. Like the first role that's spelled out in there is I believe it's the first tablet in there that's directed collectively to all the North American Baha'is. And there it says, "You must shine as morning stars from the horizon of the world." So what does a morning star do? Why, it's always the first point of light in the horizon of a new day. So as such, why then its job, that what the morning star does in actuality is it really, as it rises, all the stars above it, they disappear, they dissipate, they evaporate. And then as the star comes up, you see this beautiful red banner coming off. It's the red streak of light on the bottom. And of course, what this star is doing really, it's the first point of light. It's like it always appears at the coldest, darkest hour before the dawn. But when you see that star, like I'm saying all this because this is like the most important symbol of North America. How did Abdu'l-Baha know that? I don't know. We don't know, right? We can guess. But here he's using the symbology, which is like at the very core of the belief of the people here for tens of thousands of years here in North America. The people living on this side of the native people of this area in New England, they call them Waban Akinanak, the people who live in the land of the dawn, the morning star people. See, that's where we are right now. See. Anyway, so that morning star, you know, that's the harbinger of the day, the announcement that all that cold, all that darkness, all that depression will be banished, will evaporate, will be gone, and this beautiful light the world will be transformed into the world of color and beauty. You know, so the morning star gives that announcement. So people see that, and their heart is filled with hope. And so now, given that interpretation, you hear in the Tablets of the Divine Plan, that's the first role. We're talking about roles, right? So that's the first role that is put upon us as North Americans. We have to be like that morning star. So in other words, we should have that assurance, that confidence. We should have that certitude and that consecration to realize, you know, the import, the significance of our charter, our mandate is to dispel that darkness and to give people assurance, you see. Yeah, so then it goes on and on. Every sentence after that in the tablet is just all these roles, and it says right there, you know, the stage is set. What's our script? Well, that's our script right there. Who wants to read number 5?
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Equally important will be the support lent to a cluster for an influx of pioneers. The desire to pioneer arises naturally from deep within the heart of the individual believer as a response to the divine summons. We cherish the hope that many will be moved to render this meritorious service during the next plan, whether on the home front.
Oh yeah, and then it goes on. I just excerpted that one paragraph. Well, that's from the December 27th message. And so basically what it was that in that context is just building the momentum of, you know, 2 essential movements, and so the next plan, we're in it right now. So that, you know, it's just presages this current stage that we are in now. And so that's why I'm here, you know, which is to you know, create a little bit of interest in that. And let me see what else. That number 6, I read that one. Now here's really an interesting quote right here. Does somebody want to read number 7? A different reader. Do you want to read that one, number 7?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The principle of collective trusteeship creates also the right of every person to expect that those cultural conditions essential to his or her identity enjoy the protection of national and international law. Much like the role played by the gene pool in the biological life of humankind and its environment, the immense wealth of cultural diversity achieved over thousands of years is vital to the social and economic development of a human race experiencing its collective coming of age. It represents a heritage that must be permitted to bear its fruits in a global civilization.
Yeah, that's really an interesting thing. You know, and it sheds a lot of light to me on the need to reach, you know, diverse kindreds. A lot of you have been on pilgrimage, right? Did you ever notice that when you go into I think, yeah, it's the Western Pilgrim House, there's a display there, I believe it's there, I can't remember where it is. Anyway, But the fact of the matter is that Shoghi Effendi kept very detailed accounts of the number of different ethnicities or tribes or nationalities that were enlisted under the banner of Baha'u'llah. And also he emphasized also translation of writings and prayers into different diverse languages. And so you can see some of those charts and some of those books, collection of books displayed there at the World Center. And so I was wondering why that is. Why is it? Is there some kind of spiritual significance? Oh, I really don't know. But here's the analogy right here, that this we know if we follow this analogy out, then we know that any ecosystem which has a lot of diversity is strong. But once that diversity is compromised, then that means that the ecosystem becomes weaker. It's not as resilient, not as strong. So somehow this is connected to the human diversity as well. And so then I think that I wanted to put this number 8 in here because I know it's getting really close to the Baha'i fast, and all those beautiful prayers we have in the fast. And would you like to read this, ma'am? This number 8 here. This is an excerpt from the fasting, one of the fasting prayers.
I'm having trouble with my glasses.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Thou hast endowed every hour of these days with a special virtue, inscrutable to all except thee, whose knowledge embraceth all created things. Thou hast also assigned unto every soul a portion of this virtue in accordance with the tablet of thy decree and the scriptures of thine irrevocable judgment. Each leaf of these books and scriptures thou hast, moreover, allotted to each one of the peoples and kingdoms of the earth.
Yeah. All these, when you read those prayers for the fast, of course, a lot of times, but I like to read them throughout the fast, of course, but then what really happens for me is I really like to read them in the, just before sundown. And then it just seems like every word kind of jumps out a little bit more, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's really neat. And I started to, you reflect on that, and you think about it. The way I think about this, my own reflection on this is that, so every soul has been assigned a portion of this virtue. Every hour of that period of the fast is endowed with a special virtue, and we know, of course, that how is that? One of those quotes, it says, "In the heaven of the religion of God, 2 shining orbs have been ordained, fasting and prayer. Fasting is the sun and prayer is the moon thereof." So if we think of, all these commandments and all these laws, and we think of their relative importance, and then these two juxtaposed together, the law of fasting, the law of obligatory prayer, then fasting is like the sun and the prayer is the moon. So that's pretty interesting right there. So it really tells the importance of that period of fasting in relation, anyway. So then now it says here that every hour of those period of the days of the fast, every hour is endowed with a special virtue, and that every soul has been assigned a portion of this virtue. So I always think about that too, like what's going to happen when the generality of people in the world understand the importance of these laws, especially like the law of fasting. Then what's going to happen to this? Like all this virtue is just pent up. It's locked up. But I was thinking of the imagery I get is it's all going to be released, just like the springtime. All this virtue is going to be released into this world. And then in here it says that. This is in accordance. This is, in other words, like this assignment of a portion of virtue to every soul. This is in accordance with the tablet and decree and tablets and scriptures of God's irrevocable judgment. So and now the last sentence. Look at that, referring to those books, those tablets and scriptures. Says every leaf. I guess a leaf is a page, is it? I think a leaf is a page. So like every leaf or every page, I think of it. Every leaf of these books and scriptures, God has done this. Thou hast moreover allotted to each one of the peoples and kindreds of the earth. So just like So that made, to me, when I read that, it made sense to me why Shoghi Effendi would really take great care to denote each diverse people, you know, that's enlisted under the banners. And so it's, to me, it's like it's all about this process of the ingathering of the human family, the ingathering of the human family.
Well, I think, you know, that this has kind of come about as a custom in the Baha'i world, which is for the youth to engage in the year of service. And that's such a beautiful thing. I think it's, of course, it's not anywhere in the writings. It's not obligatory or anything. But it's such a beautiful thing because it allows the youth to take themselves out of their conventional pattern of life. You know, like, you know, normally a youth, I suppose, they'd go through school, then they'd start to begin to formulate a career path, and then they'd start taking their advanced training, whatever it is, a university or trade school, whatever it is they're going to do. But this period of time that I think has kind of taken on as a custom throughout the Baha'i world, especially North America, is this period dedicated to this year of service. And so what better way is there? Because, you know, that we all know that as human beings, we contain within ourselves all of the names and attributes of God. You know, all the virtues are within us. But each one of us has certain dominant qualities. You know, like every one of us, we have, you know, within ourselves, we've got the wisdom, and we've got courage, and we've got magnanimity, we have patience, we have all these attributes, all these virtues. But every one of us is like a gem. Remember the quote, it says, you must regard man as a mind rich in gems of inestimable value. Education alone can cause it to reveal its treasure and to enable mankind to benefit therefrom. So if you think of each one of us as a gem, but then, you know, but we're a unique gem, so each one of us is a unique combination of all these qualities. And so, so we need that divine jeweler somehow to look at us and then see now how do you create the facet that will best reflect all the lights, you know, all the qualities of that unique gem. And so see now, this may or may not happen. I mean, hopefully it will happen, but I think when a youth goes on a period of service, why then they intensify they create conditions that will optimize this process or accelerate this process so that they can be in service. And of course, really the only way that these divine qualities, these attributes, these unique contributions can best materialize or appear would be through service, you know, because really that's our station. That's our station of servitude. We know that, you know, you look at the ringstone design, and you see the different levels. You know, like there's a station of God, you know, which is so far above us, and then there's a station of the manifestation of God, and then we're at this level. All of mankind is at the level of being we're all servants. That's our station, and of course Abdu'l-Baha was the perfect exemplar. That was his station, is to really embody these qualities of servitude, of being of service. But anyway, it's only through that we can fully find our path, find our way in life. And so that's the great thing. I think that just what I thought of when you ask your question is that that's what these youth are facing, is that they're looking at different. This whole world is open before them. The world of, you know, being of service, to being the agents, the proactive agents that are charged with the really the privilege of being the agents of spiritualization of the planet. And the only thing we can do that is to be of service. So it's good, and they can see these options, and that's really what I came here for, you know, which is just to present information about this opportunity for service out in the cluster area where I reside.
Would you like to speak a little bit about?
Yeah, I'd like to say something about our you know, we know that in the Tablets of Divine Plan, Abdu'l-Baha says you must attach great importance to these Indians. Now, then there's actually quite a bit of information there, but then he makes a prophecy. Abdu'l-Baha makes a prophecy. Should these Indians be educated and properly guided, there can be no doubt that through the divine teachings they shall become so enlightened that the whole earth will be illumined. Okay, now, of course, now that conditional prophecy all depends on that they be educated and properly guided in the divine teachings. It doesn't say they need to get a master's degree or MSW or anything like that in any institution of higher education, but it talks about through the divine teaching. So now we have the vehicle, the instrumentality, which is the institute process to enable that to occur. But now, getting back to this other part where it says, this is now what he's addressing all the Baha'is of North America. You must attach great importance to these Indians. Now, see, that's an interesting point there. It's very paradoxical because the indigenous population in North America is the only rural-based population in North America. So nearly 100% of the Baha'is in the U.S. are urban, you see. So there's like almost zero chance that these youth are ever going to meet, native people from North America, because there's not that many native people in the urban, people who really have a tribal identity. There's not that many in urban areas. So this is a paradox. And now how the Baha'is have this mandate, you must attach great importance, but how can you do it if it's not even on your radar screen, see? So that's why I'm here, is to create this awareness, or to create an awareness of this opportunity to service, and to enable this paradox to be resolved. And remember, the strategy that we have, that was just kind of like the rationale. The strategy we have is to, we've got this cluster there, and it's the conditions are propitious because we do have, there's an LSA there in our cluster. It's basically like a 96% of the population of our cluster are tribal members, and we've got all the core activities going on, and we've got well-established relationship, but we just need we need support to, especially in children's classes, because the strategy is to have consistency in children's classes, and thereby get these kids through the junior youth training and to get them through the get them going on the sequence of courses, and by that time we'll have local human resources, you see.